What is going on? The Catch fam, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope everyone out there has had a great weekend. Hope everyone's Saturday is going fantastic. I hope you guys are ready for some live week 4 fantasy Q&A. Anything that you guys need, start sets, trades, waiver wire, injury updates, whatever you need. You guys know what we're doing here tonight. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football, get in the live chat, whatever it may be. I mean, come on. We know the deal here. So, week 4, almost here. Season is flying by, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? Listen, we haven't had too much craziness this week. Austin Eckler's probably not going to play. Saquon Barkley's probably not going to play. Jimmy Garoppolo's out. How does that affect Devontae Adams? I think he'll probably be fine. Ceiling is lower, but he'll probably be okay. So I mean, a quiet week is not a bad week. We had some excitement on Thursday night. Looked like the Lions were going to blow out the Packers, and we actually saw a little bit of life from Jordan Love and company. But yeah, guys, first off, I do apologize. I have not been very active this week. My wife's been sick and my daughter has been sick. My daughter is still sick, so there is possibility I may have to run downstairs at some point during the stream, but she's sleeping right now. I've got her on the monitor, but I was a little sick as well, but I wasn't as sick as both of them. So I apologize for that, guys, but I'm happy to be here with you guys tonight. And I will be live tomorrow before the game as well. Multiple games. So I'm here, guys. I promise. And I apologize if I was not super active on Discord and stuff like that. But nonetheless, it's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk some fantasy football. Seriously, anything that you guys need, let's get it going in the live chat. And let's hop into some week 4 discussion. So Jameson Williams is back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Early release. He's free from suspension. Miles Sanders listed as questionable. Bryce Young is going to play as well. Deshaun Watson, questionable too. That one's interesting. So we got a couple things that are going to affect us this weekend, but ultimately, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's a little bit more of a quiet week than we've had over the past couple of weeks. It's been a crazy start to the season, to say the least. So, all right. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. Thank you guys for being here, guys. Hit the like, do all that beautiful stuff. And let's do it. Diego, what's good, my guy? Good to see you. Spence, congrats on being a member of the channel for 14 months. And thank you for the beautiful lyrics as well. I'm not going to sing. You guys don't want to hear that. Godfather was good, my guy. Good to see you. Hope all is well. Fred, Tank Dell, or Zay? I'd probably go Tank Dell. I mean, I really like Zay. I'm assuming it's Zay Flowers because Zay Jones, I believe Zay Jones is not playing this week. So I'm assuming you're asking for Zay Flowers, who I really like as well. I'm not going to lie to you. I think both are good options at the end of the day, but I don't know. I just think this soft matchup for Tank Dell and the success he's had through the first 3 weeks of the season, even with the low score in week 1, I think he's a good start. Where the Browns are number 1 in the league against the wide receiver position. That defense is playing really, really good overall. So, I mean, I still like Zay Flowers, but yeah, technically, literally, the Browns are number 1 against the position. So I go Tank Dell, and I feel pretty good about it. The Steelers, they have some playmakers up front, but they're 28th in the league against the wide receiver position going into the week. So, yeah, I go Tank Dell for sure. All right, Arthur, thank you so much for the super chat, my guy. Hello. Flex 1 and half PPR need upside. Tank Dell, Devontae Shane, Damian Pierce, Michael Thomas, or DJ Moore. Yeah, I mean, once again, if we're talking upside, I'd probably go Tank Dell. I mean, I like him in this matchup against the Steelers a lot. I'm starting him in quite a few leagues. I just feel like he's going to really move into being one of those players that we're going to have in the flex and we feel comfortable with it. Maybe the ceiling's get a little bit lower, but I still think overall he's going to be a player who has that chemistry with CJ Stroud that we're going to feel comfortable with. So, 20 or more fantasy points in the last 2 weeks, 25 and a half last week. Uh, this is a very soft matchup against Pittsburgh. I think he's the upside play here. A Shane is, of course, interesting, but you're not going to get 50 points out of him again this week. Playing Buffalo at home, very different than playing Denver anywhere. But still, A Shane's interesting and certainly brings some upside. I do think Michael Thomas is an interesting flex as well. And I don't like DJ Moore this week personally, gets the Pat Surtain treatment. That game, the toilet bowl of the year, could be interesting, but I go Tank Dell just straight up. So Arthur, thank you so much for the super chat, my guy. Let me know if you need anything else, my dude. KR, good to see you. What's up? What's up? Godfather, like I said, hope you're doing well. Always love having you around, my guy. Diego, who should I flex? Kamara, Madison, Collins, or Myers? Yeah. I do think Nico Collins can bounce back this week. I do like Nico, the down week last week. And I mean, the thing with Nico is his target share has gone down every game, and Tank Dell's target share has gone up. So, a little worrisome. But I'll tell you what, man, I really like Myers this week. I think Jacoby Myers against the Chargers, who won't have Derwin James, won't have Bosa for what it matters. I think Myers is a good flex option, but of course, I'm already forgetting that Jimmy G is not going to play. So, I mean, maybe I don't like Myers as much. I really liked Myers and Adams going in the weekend. I mean, you're going to start Adams no matter what, but Myers is now kind of a question mark because of Aiden O'Connell. So, I probably go Nico Collins here. I do think Madison's an okay option as well, but nothing more than that. Kamara, probably fine. I want to see him back in action. If you want to go Kamara, I don't think anyone's going to blame you, but I'd probably go Nico Collins. So I dropped Gus Edwards for Roschon Johnson. I mean, I say it every year, Fred. I don't trust the Ravens backfield ever. So I don't mind this move. I'm not very confident in the Bears at the moment as well. But I just don't trust the Ravens backfield on a year-to-year basis. Dobbins was one thing, but Dobbins is gone, unfortunately. But yeah, I probably go Roschon, but it's still close. Gus is going to have his games, but I mean, you're still kind of going for a floor committee RB either way. I mean, Herbert's still getting touches. Sure, Roschon could break out or whatever, I guess, but I just don't have a lot of confidence in either of these guys. So I'll kind of trust your gut and go with whoever you think is going to be more productive. Andrea, hello, good to see you. Special K, I appreciate that. I'm feeling fine at this point. I just had a strong head cold, but my wife and daughter got a lot worse. Spence, once again, thank you for being a member for 14 months. What's up, Spence? Is Debo going to play? Debo in a weird situation here? Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because it wasn't on the news that I scrolled through. But the Niners are optimistic he'll play. Has a rib injury and a knee injury. So, I mean, it sounds like he's going to play. They're at home. Debo's usually, a little banged up, can play through injuries, so might be utilized differently. But I mean, I think if you own Debo against Arizona, and I'm not calling Arizona a bad defense because they have not been a bad defense this year, they're still, I would say, mediocre. Yeah, I probably roll Debo out there if you start him. But let's see, that game is at 425. So if you have other options, you can go with other options as well. All right, apologize. I believe we have a super chat. Let's see. KR with a 4.99 super chat. Thank you. Trying to see if there's any questions from you. Oh, sorry, meant to send with super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Who should I start at quarterback? Richardson, Fields, or Purdy? That is tough. Guys, chat, I'm going to need your help with this one. I really am, because I actually think, I know I said it last week, right? I know I said, let's roll Fields out there one more time. The game script should benefit him. They're going to play from behind. It did not benefit him at all. I think Fields is an okay start this week against Denver. And I think Russell Wilson's an okay start against Chicago. If the Bears were away in this game, I probably wouldn't feel great about Fields. but they're at home. Denver just gave up 70 points. The Bears are gonna maybe give up 70 points as well. Like, I just expect points in this game on both sides. So I probably go Fields, then A-Rich, then Purdy. I mean, the Rams are kind of a weird defense. Like, we don't really know what we're gonna get out of them on a weekly basis. I feel like Anthony Richardson can definitely have a good game. I think Purdy's fine, but he's still kind of a floor play. Like I just said, Arizona's defense, nothing to sneeze at, right? But I call me crazy, but I think I go Fields here. You know, Chat, let me know what you guys think for KR. And KR, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's definitely a tough choice, but I think if you're going for the upside overall, um, yeah, you probably go Fields. Mateo, what's good, my guy? Hello. Oh, and here's the first time you sent the question. My bad. And I appreciate you. Yeah, my daughter, she'll be fine. Kiddos bounce back from colds way quicker than adults. She'll be all right. But thank you. Can you choose two have PPR, Addison, McLaurin, London, Gabe Davis? Do I trust London for a London game? No. That is, yeah. Maybe, but probably not. Uh, I kind of think McLaurin is kind of sneaky this week. The Eagles secondary has been pretty good, or pretty bad. I'm sorry. Let's see. They're still coming in. Eagles. Of course, I can't find it. Oh, maybe I don't have it in front of me. Sometimes the list doesn't have everyone. Okay. But they've been bad. We all know that. So I think he's kind of sneaky. I feel like Gabe Davis has been on kind of a hot streak. So, we need to sit him, but he could be a good play against Miami for sure. I know Jordan Addison had the down game. I don't want to give up on Jordan Addison by any means. But the Panthers have been they're a good defense, like all said and done. And they've been good against the wide receiver position. They're third against the position so far this year. So I'm not in love with Addison this week, but he's okay flex. No, you can't trust London for the London game, unfortunately. You could probably trust London. You can't trust his coaching staff and the play calling. But I might go Scary Terry here. I feel like he's the safest play. I think that, Washington's going to be playing from behind. I think he'll get the targets. I'd probably go Terry. What's up, Chocolate? Start 3 PPR, Swift, Kamara, Kyron, Moss, Javante. Yeah. I go Swift. Swift's just starting for me. I was, this was before the Minnesota game. I'm a Swiftie. Gosh, can't even say that anymore. Too much Taylor Swift talk these days. I was saying it all off season. It's my thing. Anyways, Swift, Kyron, and I probably go Zach Moss. Yeah, call me crazy. Oh yeah. I think Kamara will be kind of eased in this first game. I think Kamara is going to be a player that will be in contention with any of these guys, of course. But I think this first game, they're at home, which helps. They play the Bucks, who've been good against the run. I probably set Kamara this week, unless you don't have better options. And Javante, I do like against the Bears. I like any running back against the Bears. So if you like him over one of those guys, but I definitely start Swift and Kyron. And I think I go Zach Moss, actually, against the Rams. Sanders, A. Shane, or B. Rob. What's up, Cruz? I probably go. I don't know. I want to say B. Rob, man. He's just been so consistent, but it is a tough matchup. So, Sanders might not play. Minnesota has been really bad against, just defensively as a whole. Sanders okay. Devon A. Shane, guys, I do like Devon A. Shane this week. But I just don't love him. Let's see where the Bills come in against the running back position, 9th overall. I just don't see the same output that we got last week. I just don't. So yeah, I think B-Rob's a safe play. Let me see if there is an update on Miles Sanders, because it's been kind of back and forth. Yeah, he's still questionable with the groin injury. If he does suit up, I actually think, you go Miles Sanders if you're worried about the injury. But I mean, this injury's been kind of plaguing him since the preseason. So I mean, I don't know how big of a deal it is. But I do feel like he has a pretty dang good match. I mean, the Vikings surprisingly are 13th against the run, but like I don't know. That's because teams just throw the ball so much against them. So I'm like, I don't know if it reads too much into it, but I'd probably go B Rob. Maybe Sanders if he plays. Tough one there for sure. All right, let me see here. Devo, thank you so much for the super chat. Standard sit two, Javonte, London, Dell, Waddle, Olave. Thinking the first two. I mean, yeah, this is definitely interesting. Because the standard scoring aspect of it kind of changes everything here. So I definitely start Dell, Waddle, and Olave. Yeah, I mean, if that's who you have to start, you could roll with those guys. But in standard, I would still consider Javonte Williams. Like, I wouldn't consider him like a sit compared to everyone else. And like PPR, like, yeah, you go Dell, Waddle, Olave, and it's done. You definitely don't start London over any of these guys, in my opinion. Too much risk. But yeah, Javonte in standard going up against the Bears is a guy you could stumble into the end zone. But Dell, Waddle, Olave are simply put your best players. So there's no way you can set them. It's got to be Dell, Waddle, and Olave for sure. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, I set those first two guys. They're just too good of players to not start the other three. Maddie, thanks so much for streaming. Of course. I've missed you guys this week. Need to flex one. Cooper with possibly hurt Watson, Flowers, D Hop, or Godwin. Yeah, I mean, you got options here. It's tough because Cooper does have, not the worst matchup in the world, but not the best. I feel like that Ravens Browns game is definitely going to be interesting. I mean, the Ravens are right smack in the middle, 18th against the position. So the bigger thing is like if Watson wasn't hurt, you're probably starting Cooper no matter what. Flowers a tough matchup. Browns number one against the position. D Hop, like what are we gonna expect out of D Hop? The first game looked promising. Target share has dropped since that game. Godwin has been like very disappointing this year. I'd probably just roll with Cooper. He should see the best target share here. So I probably just roll with Cooper. Tommy, good to see you, man. What's up? Hope all is well your way as well. Started Watson. Thank God he scored because it was looking dark. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Love owners, you made it through. Christian Watson owners, Romeo Dobbs owners, y'all made it through. Okay. Musgrave owners, different story. Aaron Jones owners, different story. Jahmyr Gibbs owners, maybe different story. Caleb, yes, I saw your comment earlier, man. I knew you'd be on when I knew you would see I was on. So I need to get through the comments tonight as well. Andrea, Mostart, Sanders, Connor need one. I like all these guys. I'd probably stick with Mostart. He's just been too productive. But I do think Connor can put together a nice game. He's been great all season long so far. Cowboys didn't slow him down. I don't know if the Niners will. But yeah, I probably go Mostart. James Cook or Goddard and Titan Premium. I'd probably go James Cook. I really like him this week. He's had double digits every week so far this year. It's a good matchup against Miami. I go Cook. Goddard looking scary in not a good way. Mateo, start one at running back, one at wide receiver, one at flex. Brian Robinson, A. Shane, Javonte, Tank Dell, and Josh Palmer. At running back, I mean, like you can really start any of these guys. I do like Javonte against the Bears, but I still don't see a massive ceiling. Devon Shane, I'm gonna be very torn on this week. I feel like if you play Devon Shane, kind of has to be a decision that you make. Like, it's kind of like you're not going to get what you got last week, right? It's a much tougher matchup. The Bills are top 10 against the run so far, but the upside is certainly there, right? I would probably start Brian Robinson, Tank Dell, and Josh Palmer as long as it's full PPR. Yeah, I like Dell and Palmer a lot this week. Jordan, what's up? Devon Shane or Palmer PPR? Yeah, I go Palmer in full PPR. I think he's a really good start this week. Standard need two. Puka, Judy, Damian Pierce, White. Yeah, it's tough. because I feel like in standard scoring, Puka doesn't really get you that many points. I feel like he's a pure PPR guy. He has not scored a touchdown this year. So I don't really like Pierce on the road against the Steelers. I mean, where do the Steelers technically come in? Let me see. Oh, yeah, they're awful. 29th against the run. Pierce should be fine. I go Pierce and Rashad White and standard, I mean, it's a tough matchup for Rashad White. So, like, maybe if you like Puka more, that's fine. Judy does play the Bears. Maybe you can go Judy if you're not comfortable with Puka. I mean, anyone can score against the Bears right now. So maybe go Judy and Pierce. But I mean, standard, I know it's sometimes I just start running backs. I'm like, they have the best chance to score. But Judy against the Bears and Pierce against the Steelers, who have actually been very poor against the run, probably your best bets. Derek, Cat PPR 2 flex, Kamara or Dell. I like Tank Dell a lot this week, so I'm firing him up. I think Kamara is going to be a little bit eased in. He's going to move up to where we can trust him, but I think he's eased in to start. Devontae Shane or Pacheco. This is very close. Very close. Neither have particularly great matchups. I mean, Pacheco's still playing the Jets, and that's an away game. But the Jets are 19th against the run. They haven't been like as outstanding as we might want to think. So very close. And both we know both these guys are going to be competing for touches too. So I mean, we've got Mostart in the mix, then we've got McKinnon and CH in the mix. So ooh, that's tough. Chat, who would you guys start? I think it's a coin flip. Javonte Williams or Chris Godwin? Javonte this week because he plays the Bears, and then Mike Evans. Prescott or Danny Dimes? Daniel Jones has a better matchup. I'll go Daniel Jones. But I mean, it's like you can still kind of go either way here. But I do think that Danny Dimes is an okay start. I mean, Seattle's 25th against the position where the Patriots are 5th. So I go Danny Dimes. Gabe Davis, Addison Pacheco, or Devontae Shane? Addison, but that's toughy. Derek, should I play T-Law or Ridley or Watson or Cooper? Oh, T-Law and Ridley. Well, Watson might not play. I'd probably start T-Law and Ridley. Revenge game for Ridley, right? Jacobs or Pacheco? Jacobs. I like Jacobs this week against the Chargers. I think he could bounce back this week and actually get going for the season. So that could be exciting. But, Chargers have been soft against the run. Just to remind you guys, Jacobs' first 3 games last year, 8.3 points, 9.1 points, 13.7 points. He missed essentially the entire offseason this year. 9.1 points, 9.9, 11 points for the first 3 games this year. Then he absolutely tore up fantasy football right after those first 3 weeks. So, I mean, I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, but it just kind of puts things into perspective. It's a good matchup. I go Jacobs. The volume has been there for Jacobs. I feel about Kamara. Like I said, I think he'll be eased in a bit. He's fine if you don't have better options, but I don't see a tremendous amount of upside for him, So I think he's okay. But the Bucks kind of smack dab in the middle, 16th against the run. I think he'll be eased in. Dak, a tough matchup against the Pats. They're still 5th against the quarterback position. So if you don't have better options, you can start him. If you do, then you can probably bench him. Aaron Jones, yeah, I started him in the league. But luckily I started Monty in that league as well. So, kind of balanced out. We'll see. Arthur, no problem, my guy. KR, who should I start at QB? Oh, we've hit this one. Do you think Rico will do anything? I have him in Dynasty. Potentially. I mean, you could start him. It's kind of like almost feels like a Taysom Hill type play. What about flexing DJ Moore over Ramondre? I don't like DJ Moore this week. I mean, I know that the Broncos haven't necessarily been good against the wide receiver position, especially last week. They weren't good against anything. But I feel like Pat Surtain is going to be on DJ Moore, and something about that, mainly like Pat Surtain being really good at corner, makes me not like that matchup. Davey Jacobs with Jimmy G out, I think he'll be fine. I mean, yeah, better quarterback on the field helps the running back, but also sometimes a bad quarterback on the field can give more volume to the running back. So I think Jacobs okay. Soft matchup. I like Jacobs still. Craig, no Eckler again. I know. He'll be back after the bye. Connor, Swift, or Pacheco. It's between Swift and Connor for me. I mean, we can't just ignore Connor at this point with what he's shown. The Commanders are 18th against the run, so they're kind of, they're a little bit beyond the middle. While the Niners are 14th, I probably stick with Swift, but if you wanted to go Connor, I think it's fine. Are we liking Waddle this week? I think if Waddle suits up, he's fine. Yeah, it's a good matchup for him. Well, it's at least a competitive matchup. It's going to be a good game. I think Waddle's fine. Craig, I appreciate it. Hit that like, guys. Arthur, Lamar Jackson or Richardson? That's tough. This Browns defense is it's no joke, man. It's no joke. And on the other side for Anthony Richardson, the Rams have been pretty dang good against the quarterback position. So it's a tough call. I think Lamar is the floor play. Richardson actually brings upside. Both have some risk due to matchup. Matt Breida or Gus Edwards. Don't you love it? I go Matt Breida. Call me crazy. It's just a much, much better matchup for Breida. The Browns are the second team in the league against running backs fantasy football. The Hawks are 23rd overall. So I'll go Breida. He scored a touchdown against the Niners. Zach Moss or Joe Mixon? Mixon. Mixon plays the Titans. I might go Zach Moss. Call me crazy, but Mixon's one of those guys. Like, you can still start him. Little Bunny Hop. Hey, bro, if you're still here, what's up, man? I think Debo's playing. I think he will. I mean, Debo's a history of injury and a history of suiting up when he is injured. So I think he's okay. If you have better, if you have other options you feel more confident in, I think that's fine. It's a home game for the Niners, so that works to his advantage. The Cardinals, we got to start showing them a little bit of respect. We can't just say, oh, I don't care. He's banged up. We can start him. They're 14th in the league against the wide receiver position. I think Debo will be all right, Bunny Hop, if you don't have better options, but ceiling could be capped. Tommy, thoughts on me and Taylor Gaines trading Dynasty? I know you don't trade Garrett Wilson Dynasty, but I'm not in rebuild. Kind of win now. No, I think your trade was fine. I thought your trade was perfectly fine. Yeah. But of course, I can't remember the other side of the trade. Hold on. Because it was Wilson for Pittman. Okay. I found it. Dalton Kincaid and Pittman for Garrett Wilson. I mean, I think that's fine. Let me take a look at your team. Why can't I find your team? Oh, it's right here. I mean, you're 2-1. Bijan, Kenneth, Watson, Goff, Pittman, Evans, Laporta, Thielen, Dell, Love, Herbie Algier, Charbs. Yeah, I don't have an issue with the trade. When I saw it, I didn't have an issue with it. Yeah. Man, some of the back end players in your draft are showing up for you. Dell, Thielen, Laporta. I think the trade's fine. I don't have a problem with it. I think it was fair for both sides. Derek, should I play Russell over Lawrence and Watson? I think T-Law can have a good game. Usually these London games, the defense doesn't play as well. I still think T-Law's the floor play, but if you want to go Russ, that's fine. I would start Russ or T-Law over Watson this week. Anyways. There's a Tank Dell in all leagues. Let's go. Hoping him and Stroud can give me my first win, my home league. Let's go. I hope so as well. Thoughts on Jake Ferguson? I mean, the volume's been good. The target share has been good for Ferguson for sure. He just hasn't made the most out of it, which has been kind of disappointing. But the volume's been there for sure, which is promising. I mean, 7 targets, 4 targets, 7 targets. So last week was better. 5 targets off of 7 targets, 5 receptions. So, I mean, and the week before he did touchdown, so that kind of made up for it. So, New England, then at San Francisco, not the most promising matchups, but he's definitely a player. He's top 15 tight end right now, and we want to keep an eye on him for sure. I do like Jake Ferguson. Terry, pick tune full PPR, Cooper, excuse me, getting ready to say Puka. Puka, James Cook, Madison. I mean, it's kind of one of these things where you have to make a call because, Cooper might be without Deshaun Watson, might be with Deshaun Watson. I probably don't start Madison here, but I really like James Cook this week. And of course, I think Puka is fine. So I probably go Puka and Cook. But if you want to go Cooper over Puka, I think that's fine. I really like James Cook this week, though. Drew, Hollywood Brown, Roshan Johnson, Chris Godwin, DJ Chark, pick 2 in PPR. Hollywood Brown, and I want to say DJ Chark because I love this matchup against the Vikings. I just honestly, if Andy Dalton was starting, I'd say DJ Chark, but I don't know how I feel about Bryce Young. I don't really like this matchup for Godwin. Roshan is probably fine. I mean, PPR, I might go Hollywood and DJ Chark. It's still a really good matchup for Chark. I already hit this one. Which 2 running backs should I start? Devontae Shane, Moss, Kyron, White, Hall. I probably start Kyron Williams and Devontae Shane or Zach Moss. I like Rashad White a lot, but I don't really love him this week. This Saints defense is just nothing to mess around with. I'm really off. I thought there's gonna be some games we could still roll Breece Hall out, but I don't know what to think about this Jets offense at all. I probably have to, call myself out on the fact that I thought we could still get some life out of these guys, but I don't know. But Moss and Kyron are probably your safest starts. Nico Collins or Tank Dell. I mean, this is tough, Kevin. I probably just ride the hot hand and Tank Dell, but yeah, we're gonna see some fluctuation between these two guys. But I try to ride the hot hand while it's there. Watson, Geno, Jones, or Stroud. I mean, I still like Stroud this week. He's going to be a guy that we're going to start considering, but the Steelers 13th against the position. I do think that Giants Hawks game is going to have some points scored, so I don't mind either of those guys. With Watson, we want to kind of monitor this injury and everything and see how things look. So I'd probably go Geno or Danny Dimes, whoever you feel better about. For what it's worth, the matchup's slightly better for Daniel Jones. Albert, was good, my guy? Hello, hello. Gerald Everett, Cole Kmet, or Dawson Knox. This is one of those things where, Drew, all these tight ends are very close in terms of production and are they going to make it in the end zone? Are they going to get enough targets, enough volume? Any of these guys can outscore each other. If one of them does score a touchdown, they probably outscore the rest. So it's tough. Maybe Gerald Everett gets a little bit more involvement with the Mike Williams injury. Cole Kmet, I hate him. I'm just kidding. I drafted a ton of him. The Broncos are 16th against the position, so he's okay. Dawson Knox. It's the best matchup is Dawson Knox, so maybe Knox, but yeah, Drew, I mean, this is one of those positions where you just got to kind of pick the guy that you think is going to have the most productive game because the reality is any of these guys can outscore each other. Do we trust Debo or should I pivot to Cooper or Cook? I mean, I really like James Cook, and in half PPR, he might give you pretty good value this week. I think you can still trust Debo. I'm not out on him necessarily, but he does play at 425. So if you have to start the other two guys, which I think you do, yeah, those are both 1:00 games. So I think James Cook's a really safe play this week. I really like him. Dog, Tutu, Ridley, Cooper, Evans, Tank Dell. Pick 3. Ridley, revenge game. I'm riding it. This is probably a tough matchup for Mike Evans against Lattimore. Cooper might not have Watson. Like, of course, those are 2 guys you can always consider. And maybe those are just the 2 guys you go with because they see the best volume. But I think Tank Dell has to be in here against the Steelers. So, and Ridley does have a tough matchup for what it's worth. So, like, we don't want to necessarily ignore that. The Falcons 10th against the position. So maybe Dell, Ridley, and Evans because Cooper might not have Watson out there. But these guys are all pretty interchangeable, and I'm not sleeping on Tutu Atwell as well. Cincy defense or Jets rest of the season. I think I go Cincy. I think I'm a little bit worried about this Jets team falling apart. Chase, what's good, my guy? Thank you. Start 2, half PPR for my running backs, Mixon, Pierce, and a Shane. Tough matchup for Mixon this week. I think the Bengals could throw the football a lot against this really bad Titans secondary. I think that if you own Bengals wide receivers, you should feel pretty good. It is an away game. I'd probably go Pierce and A-Shane. Olrak, what's good, man? Full PPR. Need 2 wide receivers, 1 running backs, and a flex. Chase, Allen, Ridley. Well, there's your 2 wide receivers, Chase and Allen. Ridley, Thielen, Henry, K9, Rashad White, and Warren. Yeah, I mean, I go Kenneth Walker at running back. Call me crazy. Then you can either flex Derrick Henry or flex Ridley, whoever you feel better about. I want to like Thielen. I think it's a good matchup. It's a revenge game. He's been good. Now Andy Dalton's not playing. And, Bryce Young is, which I think limits him a little bit. If you want to go Thielen, I think that's okay. But I don't know. When you like Chase and Allen, it's no doubt you're starting those guys. And then the flex, Henry, Ridley, Thielen are all fine. But I start Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker's player we're starting, in my opinion, on a week-to-week basis. Ash, flex, Moss, Swift, or Tank Dell. Tank Dell for me, but Swift's okay too. Moss okay, but Tank Dell for me. Revenge for Ridley and Thielen, but it's hard to bench my studs. Yeah, for sure, Ulrich. But yeah, I mean, don't bench Chaser Allen for sure. When Barkley does come back, I don't have to bench Tank Dell. Well, at least you get Barkley back. Birdman, what's good, my guy? Thank you. Appreciate you, man. What's up? Started Jaden Reed. Yeah, tough game to call. Half PPR, Everett, Ferguson, or Ferrum. I mean, yeah, Ferrum's been good. I'd probably go Ferguson. T-Law or Richardson. T-Law for the floor, Richardson for upside. Start Chargers defense, no Jimmy G or Seattle. Barkley's doubtful. I don't like either of these defenses. I'm not starting the Chargers defense because they still suck. I don't care that Jimmy G's not playing. They're still just an awful defense. I'd rather start Seattle. D's nuts. My name is Jeff. 14-man double flex. So league's very thin. Traded Madison for Waller. Should I do Goddard and Gus Edwards for B-Rob? Yes. If you have Waller, yes. Kickers, Gay, Gano, Myers. I like Gay. I think he's a good pickup. Yeah, I like Matt Gay the best out of these options. They're all good, but I go Matt Gay. I'm starting a Shane, but I don't expect to pop off. Yeah, for sure. Tony, is London droppable in a 10 team? Depends on who else you're rostering, how deep you are at wide receiver, but probably. Anything greater than a 10 team, probably not. Half PPR, Jones, JJ, Amon-Ra, Jacobs, Kyron, Stevenson, Jake Ferguson, benches, Burrow, Cup, Judy, Roshan White, Sharps. Any trade advice? I mean, it depends on, what format you're in and everything, how many teams there are. But let's see here. I mean, you're pretty deep at running back, right? Jacobs, Kyron, Stevenson, Rashad White, Roshan, Charbs. You got some handcuff guys. I like Rashad White, of course. I mean, a little thin at wide receiver, but Cup coming back is going to help you. I mean, you're probably not going to need Danny Dimes, but you might want to hold on to him in case the Burrow stuff picks back up. But JJ and Amon-Ra is beautiful. I don't know, man. I don't think you really need to move on from anyone here. And I just don't feel like you really have players on your bench other than Cup, who I feel like you should just hold on to, because having JJ, Amon-Ra, and a healthy Cooper Kupp, if we do get that this year, it's going to be really beneficial to you. I keep those running backs, Jacobs, Kyron, Stevenson. I mean, some people are trying to buy Jacobs low. I wouldn't sell him low. No, I think you're good right now, Chase. I think you're in a good spot. Start Fields or Watson? I start Fields. A better matchup, and Watson's banged up. ESPN is playing Jags Atlanta game in animated and Andy removed from Toy Story. Should be pretty cool. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I do like Toy Story. I can't lie. Now that Jimmy G is questionable, should I tamper my expectations on Adams and Myers? Yeah, you should tamper them. But Adams, you can definitely still start. I still go James Cook here. Okay, I'm getting the I don't know why the chat does this, but it repeats itself. Hold on. Luckily, I couldn't find my spot because I just have to find Tommy talking about Toy Story. There we go. See, I have it again. All right, Chip, PPR flex, Ford, Davis, or Palmer. I go Palmer. I really like Palmer this week. I think he's a great start. Alex, this guy wants Mahomes and James Cook. He's giving me Stafford, Bijan, and Wilson. No. I mean, Bijan like makes it interesting, but you don't trade Mahomes. And Cook has been very consistent this year. I wouldn't do it. Looks like Carr is leaning towards playing. Yeah, I saw that as well. Ravens or Jags defense. If Watson doesn't play, then the Ravens. If not, probably the Jags, but the Ravens are probably still okay. I don't see a lot of points in that Ravens-Browns game. DeAndre Swift season, what's up? Full PPR, Henry or Goddard? Still Henry, James. Hey, yo. Hey, would you still flex Jacoby Myers? Would you rather flex Dell or Hollywood? Or A-Shane? I mean, I really like Myers, and I do think he's a great start if Garoppolo plays, but I still rather start Tank Dell, and I think Hollywood and Devon A-Shane should get just as much consideration as anyone on this list, but I would start Tank Dell. It's a really good matchup for him. Earl, would you trade JJ for Waddle, Myers, and Connor? Probably not. It's probably not enough for me. I mean, it's kind of close if you need a depth that you're really hurting at running back, and or maybe you have other good wide receivers. You just don't have a lot of depth, but I still probably wouldn't do it. No, I probably wouldn't do it. That one guy, what's up? B-Rob or Roshan? B-Rob for me. Njoku or Henry? Henry. Njoku is not hurt, but he like suffered burn injuries, like lighting a fire this weekend. But it's supposedly, according to himself, he's going to be back. But then there were reports before that he might not be able to play. And I think he had burn injuries to his face. So I don't know. Maybe we want to keep tabs on that. But I'd probably go Henry either way. And Joku's been very disappointed. But I hope he has a speedy recovery. It's awful. Would you go Kirk or Addison? Yeah. Both these guys have tough matchups this week. Kirk has been kind of on a streak, like 2 games in a row with a touchdown. Kind of worries me. I know it sounds weird, but it does. Addison coming off a game with no touchdown. But both have tough matchups this week. Maybe I go Addison, but it's close. Dak or Stroud? Maybe Stroud this week, but both still have tough matchups. Starting Musgrave and Aaron Jones. I need upside. Who should I start? Pickens, Addison, Dell, Wilson. Dell, if you truly need upside, best matchup. Brandon, full PPR. Start 2 of these 3: Sanders, A-Shane, or Ford. Man, it looks like Jerome Ford can kind of get it done against whoever he's playing against, right? I mean, I don't necessarily love. I don't know. I don't really necessarily love this matchup for Ford, but it's not the worst. He's been good against like anyone. It's tough. Sanders has an injury, so pay attention to that. Maybe it makes it an easy decision for you. I'd probably go Devon A-Shane and Ford, but it's really close there, Brandon. Flex Flowers, McLaurin or Palmer. What's up, Space Ghost? I really like Palmer this weekend, but McLaurin's okay. Flowers okay. It's just got a really bad matchup. Yeah, I'd probably go Palmer. Best matchup. If you had to pick two, Connor Stevenson, A. Shane Ford, yeah, I still start Stevenson and I still start Connor, but I think Ford's the next best option. Flex Gabe Davis, Jalen Warren, Hollywood, Dotson, or Sky Moore. Hollywood. Ridley or Ayuk, full PPR. Ayuk. Close. Very close. I feel like Ridley could have that revenge game, but it's close. Dak or Stroud and start Dell over Debo. I go Stroud, then I start. If you're worried about the Debo injury, to start Dell. Nick, Mike Evans, Thielen, or Javonte in full PPR. Usually it's Evans. Yeah, Lattimore. I mean, if Andy Dalton was starting, I'd say Thielen. Javonte's fine. I mean, all these guys kind of have some issues, right? Javonte's like been a low floor, low ceiling player, but he's got a great matchup against the Bears. Thielen has Bryce Young, kind of limits his upside, even in a good matchup against his former team. Then Mike Evans has Lattimore on him, like you're saying. So I still think you can start Mike Evans, just don't expect a high ceiling, is all. Tequila Wolf, what's up, man? Non-PPR pick 3, Palmer, Flowers, Addison, Myers, Wilson. Palmer, Addison, and Flowers or Myers here we feel better about. Flowers, a tough matchup. Myers, backup quarterback. I just don't think we're starting Garrett Wilson right now. Would you do Mixon for Watson and Hall? Christian Watson? Yes. The sarcastic, you're going to get destroyed in League 2, probably. Probably will, man. Chase, right back at you, bro. Drop a like and don't forget to hit the notification bell. So you can ask as many questions as my man goes live. Appreciate it, Tequila Wolf. Space Ghost, Pitts or Isaiah Thomas? I guess Pitts. Start Palmer with Keenan or Addison and Garrett Wilson. You can always start Addison, but Palmer is fine. Even if you own Keenan, this offense throws enough. Full PPR, pick 3 from Brandon. Flowers, Cooper, Pickens. Oh, pick 1. I'm sorry. These guys none of them really necessarily have good options, or good matchups, I should say. And they're all going to get good volume. So it's kind of a toss-up. Normally, I just say Cooper, but if Watson plays, it's Cooper. It's tough there. Jimmy G's out. Start Russell Wilson or Watson. Probably Russ. Higgins or Debo. If you're worried about the Debo injury, then Higgins is fine. It's a really good match. I think Higgins is going to have a good week, and Chase. Probably Higgins. Since you recommended Henry in the tight end spot, who'd you rather start at the flex, Goddard, Algier, or Brian Robinson? I would start Brian Robinson. Yeah. Streaming QB options are Wilson, Fields, Watson, Richardson, Jones, Geno, Stroud. Yeah, I think you can start Wilson or Fields in that matchup. All these guys have positives and negatives, but I'd probably go Wilson or Fields due to the matchup. If really is another dud week, would you consider starting Hollywood, more Judy over him? I would, and Hollywood has been productive so far this year. He's looking like the guy I'd choose. Flex 1, Puka, Tank, and Olave. You got to start Olave no matter what. You start Olave. And I like all these guys, but you start Olave. Full PPR flex, pick 2, Palmer, Thielen, White, Collins. Palmer and Nico for me. With Miles Sanders missing Friday's practice with a groin issue, should I start Connor? Yeah, Connor's a good start either way, even against the Niners. He's perfectly fine. So I go Connor. QBs are Fields, Love, Stroud. Wide receivers are Diggs, Debo, Dobbs, Pickens. Running backs are Jacobs, Madison, Brian Robinson, Rosham. Tight end is Jake Ferguson. Any trade options? You can sell Jacobs low right now, but then you're still going to have to replace him. So, looking at your wide receivers, maybe you can trade Dobbs with him coming off another big game and maybe theorize that Watson starts to take some of that volume away, but I don't really see that happening. So it's a tough position. I mean, you could use running back or wide receiver help, but I don't really think you can let go of any of the players. So you're not really in a great spot. I don't know if that was very helpful. I'm sorry. Nick, I'll take a look when I can, my dude. What's up, Nick? Shelton Jameson Williams on waivers. I want to pick him up. Can only hold 4 wide receivers: Pickens, Puka, Addison, and Palmer. I don't want you to drop any of these guys. That's tough. It's tough. Can you try and trade one or make them a part of a trade for a running back or something? I'd rather have all those guys than Jameson, and I do like picking up Jameson. Logan Thomas or Pitts? I mean, probably Logan Thomas. I just don't want to start Pitts. I thought it was Isaiah Thomas. Is Najee or London droppable in a 12 team? You can still try and trade them. And half PPR still would keep Najee. What's up, Mel? Full PPR, Connor, Mostert, Madison, Flowers, London. Connor, well, if it's Mostert, I don't mind him either. But I think Connor's perfectly fine this week, too. I go Flowers over London. Daniel Kapskinen. Orak, what's up, man? Full PPR, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and a flex. We already hit this one. You're starting Chase and Allen. Oh, I'm getting repeats in the chat. My bad. All right, let me see. Better stash for the season. Warren, Bigsby, Spears. I mean, Warren, I don't think is going to take over completely, but he's a great handcuff. And I really like Spears. And I mean, like the thing with Bigsby or Spears, if ET or Henry go down, like they're RB1s. It was the same thing with Warren. If Najee goes down, he's a RB1. They're all really good handcuffs, but when we're playing the handcuff game, it's like, yeah, we need the RB1 to go down, which we still don't want. We don't want to see anyone get injured, but so it's kind of a tough call. But I like all those guys. I mean, the guy who's getting the best volume right now is Tajay Spears. Pick 2 running backs to start: Connor, Najee, Swift, Ajane, Hunt, Connor, and Swift. Do you have more faith in Fields or Wilson? I mean, Fields is at home, but the Bears are the worst overall this season, have been a poor defense. Like I get last week, I get it with the Broncos, but they're in an away game. I don't know why I want to say Fields. I kind of want to say Fields, but I think it's a coin flip. I think both are fine. Mel, need one to sit. Cooper, Nico, Puka, Palmer. Do we roll with Carr or slide Gino in? I would start Gino. Yeah, I would start Gino. I'd probably maybe sit Cooper if Watson doesn't play. If not, I guess Nico. But I like Nico. It's tough. Andrew, have a good night. See you tomorrow. Chase, what's good, my guy? Roshan, Quentin Johnson, Algier, or Breida? Breida. Call me crazy. I would actually start Breida in this situation. How many points do you think James Cook drops this week? I like James Cook a lot this week. I think, he's going to hit double digits again. And I think he has the opportunity to get into the end zone. Cats down, bad at RB2, Algier or Breida. I go Breida. It's a good matchup. He scored against the Niners. Give me Breida. Yeah, Carr's trending to play. Yeah. Steven put out a defensive video for the week. Defense and kicker. Yep. Judy or London? I go Judy. It's a good matchup. The Bears are bad at defense, and it's a much tougher matchup for Drake London comparatively, and London has been worrisome to say the least. So, yeah, I would definitely go Judy here, Lex. Trade Connor Smith, Judy for CMC. Depends on the rest of your roster, Sir Boomer. Definitely depends on the rest of your roster. Because CMC is worth trading for. It's a decent trade for CMC. But if you need the depth overall, then I don't mind keeping your side. Will Garrett Wilson be okay in Sunday night? Maybe. The Chiefs defense has not been bad. It is a home game for the Jets, so maybe okay. But I'm losing faith in this Jets team, unfortunately. I hate it, but maybe okay in full PPR as a flex if you're desperate, but that's about it. I played Devontae Adams, Keenan Allen. Oof. Luckily, Adams QB isn't playing. It definitely hurts his upside, but he'll probably be fine. It's Devontae Adams. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen. So, unfortunately, I do have to run a short stream tonight, but I definitely wanted to get on with you guys. But like I told you guys at the beginning of the stream, my daughter is sick, so I gotta make sure she's good. But been watching the baby monitor this time. She's been snoozing, so. But just in case, I'm going to have to roll downstairs in a minute or two here. So if you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and get them in, and we'll start to kind of wind things down. Believe it or not, we've been on for an hour. So, Mel, I live in Cali. I want to start a petition to have the London games pushed back to respectable time. Yeah. I mean, they still feel early for everyone, right? But yeah, 6:30 a.m. is very early. Should I trade Mostart when he's doing really well? I was thinking of offering Mostart and Ayuk for Chase. I'd probably keep Mostart in Ayuk as much as I like Chase. Or Mostart and Judy for Amon-Ra. I mean, Mostart and Judy for Amon-Ra, I definitely do. I like that a lot more than the first trade. Rachaad White, DJ Moore, Breece Ward, need one. I mean, if it's full PPR, maybe DJ Moore, but I don't really love him. And I like Rachaad White, but I don't really love the matchup. I still like White and DJ Moore due to volume more than Breece Hall or Warren. But it's tough because DJ Moore and White both have tough matchups. Of course, Agent Clark Kent, appreciate you being here, my dude. And I was happy to get on tonight for a bit. Hey, yo. Happy for our 12-minute. Any advice for this team? Cousins, Adams, Ridley, Flowers, Bijan, Monty, benches, Goff, Sanders, Pickens, Godwin, and Charby. I mean, you can probably try to trade anyone on your bench is what I would say. You have a pretty strong roster, core roster. Maybe keep Goff, just to have someone behind Cousins. But Adams, Ridley, Flowers, Bijan, Monty, you keep those guys. But if you want to try and package anyone for an upgrade, I'd rather see upgrade at wide receiver, I think, than running back. But if you want to get an upgraded running back, that's fine. You can package like Sanders and Pickens for the right guy, Godwin and Sanders, Godwin and Pickens. I think that's fine. Appreciate your mail. She'll be fine. She just has a cold, but it is what it is. Nico Ardell. Yeah, these guys are going to be interesting. The volume has gone down for Nico and gone up for Dell. So I probably go tank Dell, ride the hot hand. Cats, I have looked at your dynasty trades. I'm sorry. I probably need to respond to you. I'm sorry. I know you messaged me too. I'm sorry. Appreciate it, Sir Boomer and Nick. I got JJ and Amon-Ra versus Keenan Adams. Oh, that's close, but I like your side, I think. Traded Lamb for Ridley and Mike Evans. That's probably okay. I still prefer Lamb, but I think that's an okay trade. Pollard and Cook versus his Henry and Kamara. Yeah, I still like, if it's James Cook, I like your side on both deals. James, I will be on tomorrow. Yes, I will be on before the games. Hey, yo. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'll take a look, Cats. I wish I had Gabe Davis to offer you. Lex, Nico, Palmer, Roshan, Brees. Nico and Palmer for sure. That one's easy for me. Do you think that Jay Williams will help Sam Laporta? Yeah, I think Jameson Williams coming to this offense will help the entire offense open up. He's going to help take the safety off the top, and that'll open things up for Laporta, for Monty and Gibbs, and for Amon-Ra. I think he's a a good addition to this offense overall for sure. Yeah, I think he'll help everyone, definitely. As long as he can stay healthy. All right, one more. Will T-Law bounce back in London? I think so. Usually in these London games, we don't see a lot of defense. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine. I think T-Law will be fine on the season in general. But I think he'll be okay in this early London game. Got you, Mel. No worries. All right, guys, be sure to hit the like button on the way out. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for being here. Hopefully you guys subscribed and enjoyed the stream tonight. Sorry it's a short stream. I will be back on tomorrow before the games. So make sure you guys hit the like. If you guys are new to the channel, Discord links down below. Completely free to join our Discord. Instagram links down below. Do all that stuff. If not, come hang out tomorrow. We'll talk before the games, and I'll do my best to get your guys' lineups good to go before week 4 of the season kicks off, ladies and gentlemen. So let's do it. All right, guys. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. And good luck in week 4 if I don't talk to you guys. But like I said, I will be on tomorrow before the games if I didn't talk to you guys tonight. So with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, yes, Odd here on the Catch. And peace.